Okay, welcome back to my exceptionally epic rant. And when we left it last time, I was getting really pissed off about absolutely trivial things. So, back to ranting. What else? The failure of the Dreamcast kind of pissed me off as well. I mean, it's probably the best console I've ever owned. It's a fantastic machine. It looked beautiful, it sounded beautiful, I loved the buttons on the front, they felt really satisfying to push. You know, it had some of the some of the best games. I'm going to say Power Stone was good. You know, Jet Set Radio, that was another excellent game. You know, it was just, but no. Instead, all the cool kids, or as I prefer to call them, dipshits, preferred the PS2. People who make noise at the cinema. I mean, why? It's not as if it's cheap to go to the cinema these days, is it? It's not as if, you walk up to the thing, you pay £1 for the ticket, then it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. It's... Yeah, you just shut the fuck up, you bastards! Christ, the first time I went to see The Expendables, there was some motherfucker sitting at the back who was whispering quite loudly. Obviously he was explaining something to the person he was with. It was just, what the hell? I mean, I love The Expendables to pieces, don't get me wrong. But it isn't the most complicated film in the world. If you needed it explained to you, you should probably watch something a bit easier to grasp, like The Continuing Adventures of Spot the Dog. Oh yeah, when I went to see The A-Team as well. I mean, that was a fairly good film. But I almost murdered a group of chavvy motherfuckers who would just not shut up. I mean, the film just started, and what did they do? They started humming, whatever the fuck. Just shut the fuck up, you tossputts! Jesus fucking Christ. And also, a few years ago, when I went to see, what was it? Elizabeth the Golden Age. There's some bitch sitting behind me who was constantly rustling as she opened up fucking boiled sweets to munch on. Look at me, I'm eating boiled sweets. Jesus Christ, you annoying bitch. Stop it! God, I wouldn't mind it so much, but it was always during the goddamn quiet bits. Oh, what else? Something of a more minor ranty thing, I suppose. The fact that Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, I mean, I love that game, it's brilliant, but as much as I love it, I can't deny that it's got a crap final act and was extremely buggy when it was first released, and it kind of pisses me off. That because of all that, it flopped, basically, and we're not going to get a worthy sequel to it, ever. Also, DRM, Digital Rights Management, that pisses me off as well. Not quite as much as the people who just take it because they want to play the latest games or whatever bullshit like that, but just DRM in general, and also the bloody bullshit reasons that companies give for it. It usually revolves around piracy. Oh, piracy is destroying us. Bullshit! If anything, excessively intrusive and restrictive DRM encourages piracy. Any system that exists whereby a legitimate paying customer has a far inferior experience to a non-paying customer is a system that is doing it wrong. If your DRM solution is anything more than a CD key and a disk check, then you are wasting your money, quite frankly, because it will be cracked, it will be on torrent sites, and it will not stop piracy. It should be pretty obvious to anyone with a functioning brain cell that the entire point behind DRM is to destroy the second-hand games market. Anyway, what else really pisses me? Oh yeah, the lack of Dinobots in the live-action Transformers movies. That really gets on my tits. Okay, not necessarily the lack of them, I suppose, but it's more the reasoning for their non-appearance, which tends to be something like, we can't justify having robots that turn into dinosaurs and have it make sense. Sense? Who gives a fuck about sense? Giant robots that transform into dinosaurs are fucking awesome. That is the only justification you should ever need. I mean, Christ, it's not even as if the Transformers movies are particularly striving for realism, is it, beyond the special effects? I mean, good lord. It's not all even providing fun, interesting and engaging human characters. Honestly, I'd much rather watch some of the plant pots they're standing in front of than the humans. With any luck, they'll all get killed in the first 10 minutes of Transformers 3, and we can have 2 solid hours of giant robot war, which is, quite frankly, all I really want in a Transformers movie. Region restrictions or regional releases, or whatever that shit is. I mean, it just seems to me that bullshit like that is basically saying that companies don't want our money. I mean, this goes back into what I just bitched about with DRM and restrictive DRM and all that jazz in games or in whatever. But the fact is that if you deny people access to something for whatever pointless reasons, it will be pirated. There's a friend of mine, and it really is a friend of mine, that isn't a euphemism for me, but there's a friend of mine who wanted some music that was released by Sony, I think it was, and it was only released digitally, and it was only available in North America, or maybe just the United States, I don't know, but certainly only in that part of the world. You could not buy it outside of America, but he wanted it. So what did he do? Well, he did what any sensible person would have done. He pirated it. It's just, do these people hate our money so much that they want to encourage piracy by restricting people from legitimately buying things? I mean, that is personally for me, that is the only situation where I will ever pirate something, is when I cannot get a hold of it for love nor money. Because quite frankly, if these companies don't want to sell it to me, well, fuck them, quite honestly. Ugh. Yeah, and and also as an addendum to that, I suppose, the way that some people just won't make certain, shall we say, classic media available to consumers again. It's like there's a film I absolutely love. It's called The Flight of Dragons. It's an animated fantasy movie. I think at least it's a very good film. But you cannot find that anywhere. Or if you can, it's only on VHS. You cannot find it on DVD because for some reason they don't want to release it on DVD. Why? Okay, not even on DVD. Offer it for a download or something. But they don't. So instead, people go off and they steal it from YouTube. That really annoys me. Yeah, and also the way that English people constantly overestimate our chances in world sport. I mean, for my sins, I cheer on England in the football and in the rugby and in cricket and all that jazz. I'm not going to sound particularly happy or content to do so, because years of chronic underachievement do tend to take their toll. But, even when I do cheer them on, I am under no illusions that they actually have any chance of winning. I mean, our victory in the the 2003 Rugby World Cup was absolutely fantastic, but it was completely unexpected. I think I didn't expect it leastways, but I think best illustration of this point comes from the build-up to the 2010 Football World Cup. In the build-up to that, there were people who actually believed that England could win the cup. I mean, seriously. All you had to do was take a look at England's record leading up to that competition. We managed to bravely beat all the lesser teams, but as soon as we played anyone of any quality, like France or Germany or Brazil, we ended up getting our asses handed to us. In one of the last warm-up games we had against Japan, we only managed to beat Japan 2-1 because the Japanese scored 3 times. For crying out loud. Get a bit of realism into your support, people. Then maybe we'll be able to actually start enjoying these international sporting competitions again. And there's another addendum to that. Constant reference to the 1966 World Cup final. God damn it! We won. Brilliant. Yippee! Go England! But fucking hell! Constantly talking about it, making comparisons to then and now. That is not going to spur on the English team, comprised as it is of the greatest collection of whinging, whining, "Oh, I can't live on £125,000 a week," underachieving, overvalued Nancy boys ever assembled. It's not going to spur them on to victory. Just shut the fuck up about it. Campers, campers in games like Call of Duty 4 or whatever. The spineless little pussy bastards that just find a little hidey hole somewhere because for some reason online they're too chicken shit to just run out and shoot people properly. I mean, good God alive. Grow a fucking backbone, will you? Stop spoiling it for everyone else. Oh, look at me, I managed to hide in one place, wait for someone to go in front of my gun and shoot them. Oh, aren't I amazing? No, you're a twat. And in a similar vein to that, people who take online gaming and shit like that seriously, who think that having the most Xbox Live points or being a Diamond League StarCraft 2 player is actually an amazing achievement. No one cares apart from you. You may think that the size of your e-penis is important, but no other fucker does. Also, people who rage quit when they're losing. I just... God damn it. I tend to suck at online games, I admit. But at least I have the good grace to lose properly. Take it, you chicken shit. How am I doing for time in this? About half a minute. Okay. So I think that'll do it for now. Okay, one last one, and then that'll call it for these 2 parts, because I don't really want to go on for another 14 minutes. So the last thing that really pisses me off, I've decided, is Stan Bush's recent remix of The Touch. The Touch is one of the most incredibly cheesy 80s power ballads I've ever heard. It is absolutely perfect as it is. It doesn't need to be ruined by making it all, I don't know, emo or whatever the fuck it is. Very quickly, here's the 1980s version of The Touch. You never bend, you never break. You seem to know just what it takes. You're a fighter. It's in the blood, it's in the will, it's in the mighty hands of steel when you're standing your ground. And here's the 2010 version of The Touch. Never bend, you never break. You seem to know just what it takes. It's in the blood, it's in the will, it's in the mighty hands of steel. Which is better? The 80s version, isn't it? So, Stan Bush, stop raping your own songs. God damn it! Right, well, I think that'll do it for now. I'm probably way over time. And I don't really want to make a 3rd part of this, so I think I've ranted enough. So until I find something else to do, keep on rocking in the free world.